Hello, hello.
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 Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah,
How are you
Haris.
guys?
Hello, Wasim, Muhammad, Kiran.
Miguel,
How are you all?
Luis.
Hey, all well. How are you?
Very nice to meet you, Maria. How's it
Yes,
going?
nice to meet you all. Sorry, I have Harry with me here as well. We tried to
Hi
connect
there,
on the
Harry.
big screen. It didn't work, so we're in the same computer.
Hi, guys.
Works out fine. All the same.
Should we do a quick round of intros?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, amazing. I'll kick off, and I think Mohammed, from your side, there's a little bit of a delay. So let me know if you don't hear me.
No, I can
Can
hear you
everyone?
well. I'll just remove
Yeah.
my camera just in case I'm having some issues. It's
Okay,
definitely from my
amazing.
side. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, nice to meet you all. We're excited to have this conversation. So, I'm Mariah. I lead the global partnerships team here at Manchester United. And I've been in the club for about 6 years. But actually, the interesting part is that I've actually been working on particularly technology integration, focused mostly on that for the past 3 years. So, have worked with Extreme Networks, our Wi-Fi partner, have worked in the front of shirt partnership with Snapdragon, which is a company that is extremely relatable to from what I've seen, what Verofax does as well. So I think there is excited about this conversation, excited to see the world and the art of what's possible, and how we can enhance that fan experience with your technology, and just how we can structure this partnership in a way that delivers for both your business objectives, but also what we're trying to achieve as a club in terms of a fan engagement and fan interactive point of view as well. Harry, can you do the quick intro?
Yeah, so hi guys, I'm Harry. I work sort of very closely with Mariah. Been at the club nearly 3 years now, and like Mariah, have been sort of very hands-on with some of our tech partners. So previously working to bring a lot of these partnerships to life from an activation standpoint, and yeah, I've seen the power of true integration, true partnership, and what that means for fans, and then in turn what that can do for brands. So yeah, echoing Mariah, really excited to see what we can do here.
Amazing. All right. Well, I'll start introducing myself. My name is Wasim Merabi, and I'm the co-founder for Verofax and the CEO. And yeah, I mean, all of my life working for technology companies, from Epson, Seiko to Microsoft, Nokia, you know, and then worked in the UK for a short while, actually, in the Cotswolds, in a very nice area of the UK.
Oh,
I have to
lucky
say.
you. That's amazing.
Yeah, Cheltenham.
Oh
Cheltenham.
yeah, I know Cheltenham.
It's
Wow, yeah.
yeah. So it's because I used to work for Kraft Foods, so it's amazing all the year except when there's a horse race.
Yeah.
Then it gets like quite literally, yeah.
Yeah,
But
such a nice area.
yeah, no, a pleasure to have met you, and looking forward to taking this forward. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. With us also on the call is Hiram Patel. He's our Chief Technological Officer, and I'm just Muhammad. I'm the Business Development Manager. Not as important, but all the same. Really nice to meet you guys.
The most
Nice.
important.
You're the
Thank you,
most
thank you,
important.
Wasim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Great.
So I'll just maybe do a quick kind of a setting of the scene on
Yeah.
where, how did we come about, what we're going to be discussing. So back in 2021, we were working with different brands, Budweiser, Corona, and so on and so forth, from AB InBev, Fortune 100 companies, on how can we create that incentivized kind of customer experience linked to their interest, linked to the fans' interest. So we worked on the FIFA World Cup consumer product. You can recognize with the computer vision that the cap is not on the bottom. So whenever you're pointing your camera towards it, that it has that we can recognize that this is a bottle, that which IP is being used to scan this product, where is the location of scanning, if it is in a fan zone or in Qatar, or before coming to win a ticket to come to the FIFA World Cup. I'm sorry. And that has delivered some amazing results, not only in terms of accessing customers at low cost, but the analytics of the consumption, the timing, providing them a lot of insights on who's consuming where and when and what, right? Sorry. Yeah. So since then, we've expanded, the offering. So we're going to be telling you more about the service of Holobox. We're going to be telling you more about the service of augmented reality at stadiums, and the AI, in a way, athlete that is in the application that we can create to excite the client, the fans, drive more conversion, more downloads of the application, more celebration, more social, social posting by the fans. So creating micro influencers, and hopefully, you're as excited about this as we are.
Yeah, thank you for the visibility. And I think I'm sure we are. So just to give you a bit of a overview of the journey of the club, right, and where we are in terms of our direct consumer strategy. If you think about Manchester United about 8-9 years ago, we were always the most talked about club in the world. We have 1.1 billion fans and followers globally. It's the resilience, the passion. That's global. It doesn't change. It's football is a religion in a way, and Manchester United is at the core of that in terms of
Especially
that
in England.
passionate fan base. Yeah, all over the world, Asia, the Middle East, it's wild.
Yeah.
But especially in England, I'm from Brazil. Brazil's the same. Football is huge, but
Yeah.
we were the most talked about club in the world, but we didn't control that narrative. We almost didn't own the fan because we didn't have the applications, the websites, the social media reach to be able to communicate with the fans in the way that we wanted to. So we didn't control the narrative in any way, and we didn't engage with the fan almost in any way. So we were very lucky that we had a really passionate fan base, and we were who we were from the beginning. But we had a real issue in our hands, which is how do we control that narrative? How do we monetize the fan? How do we commercialize our brands? So about 7 years ago, we invested, honestly, quite a lot of time and money in terms of bringing the in-house resources and partnering with the right people to create a best-in-class app and websites and a D2C
Amazing.
strategy. In the past 7 years, what we have been doing is making sure that's fit for purpose and is delivering best-in-class experiences. As a result of that, we have the most visited websites for any sports brand in the world, the most downloaded app, the highest daily average users and monthly active users in all these platforms. Where we are right now for the past about a year and a half is we have been really focused on creating an entire revenue stream that is exactly what we're mentioning on this call. It's how do we monetize the fan? How do we commercialize that fan experience in a way that also
100%.
maintains the core of our brand, which is football is first, and fan is first, right? So those are the sort of two ethos of Manchester United. So ensuring that it's relevant. We're not just doing something for the sake of doing it. It brings the fans closer to the club. It brings the fans closer to the football side of our business. But we've created in the past year and a half a brand new revenue stream, which is that e-commerce D2C commercialization of the fan in an authentic and organic way. I think that's where we would sort of put it. It's speaking to the fan in the right place at the right time in the way that they want to be spoken to, which is sort of the key focus here. So this is a really exciting opportunity to be able to explore this and to be able to add a new string to our bow in terms of how do we look at that D2C element of our business. So we're keen to hear more from you, but just to give you an overview on where we are, it feels like the right time to be speaking with you. A lot of work to be done internally in terms to see of exactly where this fits and how does it fit with our other partners. But it's helpful because we can have the conversation internally that directly feeds into a revenue stream that we're actively looking to grow.
Yeah. I know, absolutely makes a lot of sense. So thank you for that. And I think, you know, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, we toned down our excitement talking to Manchester United. So, you know, we are dancing in our boots, you know, Maria, just to make it simple. All right. So with that, I'll just jump right into it. So I'll skip over the introduction. You know, we've won several awards. We are supported by some of the biggest venture capital companies around the globe. And the services are quite simple. You know, there are three verticals. One is what we've been selling to brands, to Fortune 100 brands all over the world, which is creating an augmented reality experience at the stadium or at the museum, gamify it, give certain rewards, let them, just like Pokemon Go, you know, like go and find stuff, and it's branded stuff. It's brands that are approved as sponsor, obviously, for the franchise. So it's branded stuff that they can find around in different facilities. You know, fist bump the mascot, the AR mascot, catch the goal, create all sorts of experiences at the stadiums and then you have to post socially. So you turn your you know, the engagement, like you said, you know, you tune up the engagement to the next level by turning all of your fans into your army of micro influencers, right? So extend your lead basically there, and then they have a chance.
Is this on a phone, on an app?
Yeah. It's on a phone. It's within your app. So the whole experience will be integrated into your app. Everything that we're talking here is meant to actually increase your assets adoption, you know, like your application download and stuff like that.
Okay, understood. Right? Yeah.
Then the other thing is to have an AI athlete today with large language models. You can train agents that could be one of your players. You're able to interact with them. You're able to have a dance with them, record it, share it on social media after every win, and celebrate it differently and fist bump them and stuff like that. You know, within the app. So, you know, we're able to replicate individuals using some cameras. So technology is available. And then there you go. You know, ask them about the future games. And the whole objective of this is to have an interactive kind of a character that you can actually, that will eventually push you to maybe buy membership, maybe buy merchandise, maybe buy future tickets, maybe, you know, or other related services, if that makes sense. So it is also an AI that is aimed at interacting with you. You have to pay to subscribe. Then it gives you certain discounts, certain chances to win something. But also it might actually be you know, promoting certain additional services, attachment rates. The third element is more or less the same. You know, the AI in an application. Now it's an AI in a holobox. Why is it different? Because, you know, maybe some people are not downloading the application, but when they see the same kind of an experience in a lifelike size, lifelike character, where you stand in front of the camera and you're able to fist bump, and then you put your email and you receive that video to post on social media, obviously with all privacy and GDPR compliance regards. So then you're able to actually get engaged more at the stadium. And obviously it's going to sell you merchandise. It's going to promote to you to buy certain merchandise or to play something on the app, and in order, like the augmented reality, in order for you to win a signed collectible kind of a t-shirt or, you know, merchandise. So you're able to sell future tickets within the chatbot. It's within the holobox itself. You're able to sell you know, memberships, merchandise, what have you.
Advertisements.
Yeah, and it works as a part. You know, the top part of the holobox works as also an advertisement panel. So we'll show you some examples and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share actually the results that we've achieved for you know, Budweiser during the FIFA World Cup. We can show you other brands. This one you might recognize because it happened in Brazil. So whatever I'm showing you now is actually was in Brazil in
Nice.
2021.
Yeah.
Left me around. Now I keep on wondering if you could make it right.
And were
Yeah.
you selling beer, or were you giving it away and just getting customers signed up for
No,
something?
people are buying a pack of 6 and going to register themselves. And then after registering themselves and their child, or themselves and their brother, and so on and so forth, then they were getting a chance to go to the FIFA World Cup, and we were powering that promotion, and it helped them reduce their cost of customer acquisition from over $20 to under $1. It helped them, all the people that were seeing first the QR, the promotion, scanning the generic QR code, and then the conversion to actually scanning a bottle that had a unique QR code. I don't know if you noticed at the beginning, it shows
Yeah.
on the neck where it says scan to win. That's a unique QR code per bottle for 4 billion bottles that we printed across 50 markets.
Mhm.
So then you have to scan that unique code with the bottle open, and and then we recognize that this is a bud product. It is open. That unique code has not been consumed before, so therefore you can register yourself, right? So this is the gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the conversion was 70% during this promotion. Bud takes you to the FIFA World Cup. Customer net promoter score jumped to around 70. People were buying and then buying again, because if we show you now the user interface, it had a way to request delivery. So in the US it was with different companies, but in the different markets they had different Uber Eats, stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And then the most important thing is that we were saying, okay, this is how much consumption was happening in this area, for example, in Rio de Janeiro, where there's a pub, and then all of a sudden the conversion stopped at 10:30. But we know that this is a place that should be lasting until like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. So it ran out of stock. So we were also giving them real-time insights on this place. All of a sudden there's no more conversion happening. So therefore they ran out of stock. So you need to actually increase the product availability next week. So this is, and then we were helping them to do the augmented reality mini games around in the fan zones in Qatar, hiding certain things under the table for the brands and so on and so forth. So it's all about creating that experience at the stadium, gamify it, and one of the elements of the gamification would be that you have to post socially in order for you to have a chance to win. So now you turn everyone that is participating into a micro influencer and rack up your the posts for free. So instead of, yes, you are engaging well with them, they are actually incentivized to engage well with you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So and then with computer vision, like we showed you what we do with each and every bottle and recognizing it open, you can actually have the computer vision games. For example, you will hide certain things within the field. You have to find it. It's hidden somehow within the crowd visual or something. A Coca-Cola here, a mascot there. But then you will be able to find a shadow while you're looking around. If you find it, you spot certain things. Great, good. Now, so post it socially. So many things that we can do on that front with augmented reality. And it's all, a small entertaining. We can link it to their proof of consumption, which is exactly what we showed you before. So this is the other promotion that we were having. I think we'll share the link in it. But let me see. Yeah.
I would make it smart, they never believe me. Yeah, but never took the ball, there's no one making it easy. Yeah. Main weapon with the beef fit. Don't care what the treaty got to say, I gotta fix another beef fit. And you really playing with you like I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the about to snap back. You been fitting for it since you won't care. Like.
So the whole idea is the consumption is gonna of the brand is linked to the overall experience. This is why they can actually afford to pay for the sponsorship, and or we can afford to actually charge them a significant amount because there is a proof of consumption and so on and so forth. All right. And by pushing them towards, you know, you have to post socially, take a photo with the product, with the stadium behind you, you know, these kind of things. It's a win-win-win. So, you know, the proof of performance elevates, you know, the whole thing. But it doesn't stop at the stadium. You can do it also at your museums. You can hide certain artifacts, branded artifacts across the museum.
And which are the, so there, because originally Louise and Miguel were telling us as well that there is a sort of a rev share model. Which are the interactions that the fan would have to pay to access, or would that be part of like a membership, for example?
That we're getting to the other services. You know,
sorry.
we're done with the augmented reality one.
Yeah.
But there
You know,
is
so
a
the
revenue
augmented
share on this one
reality-
as well. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Osim. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that there is a revenue share structure also for the AR gamification, but it doesn't come from B2C, from the fans themselves. It comes from what the advertisers and sponsors are paying to trigger this experience. Right? And then the next two services come from the fans.
Yeah. Okay.
Subscription model base.
So the AI athlete pass is, you know, we replicate those players, we create those experiences, you know, within the application. You can enjoy your dance, post it socially. You're happy as a follower that you're creating personalized experience with the players. With that few pounds, you know, a couple of pounds a month, you get all the updates which you already get with your application. But also more importantly is you get certain discounts, you know, chances to win certain things. This is how you trigger incremental downloads for your app, you know, with this capability, in our view. And you pay for that premium AI athlete pass. If you have any kind of a membership, that's fine. You know that you will have another kind of a tier which says the AI as athlete pass, if that makes sense. And then we have to create a lot of like a calendar for daily, weekly, monthly activities to keep them engaged, for them to renew, or to have certain prizes that they can win, you know, along the season. All right. So it's all about ask me whatever you want. You know, I'm able to answer you. And it's all about, you know, getting the fans closer to the players. Why did you play so terribly, you know, in the last game? Who is injured? Who is not playing? Whatever you want to, you know, now becomes more conversational, more human-like, you know, experience. And the more you interact, the more you win. You know, this is the whole idea behind it. If you have any questions on the AI, and otherwise, you know, happy to finish with this, and then we cover.
No, that's quite clear. We have a tiered model approach to membership as already, so I think that's quite clear.
Okay. And then on the Holobox, I mean, you know, you've seen those. They're all over. Today we've done it in a different way. It's not just, you know, an experience that you talk to the box like the competitors are doing, but we actually turn it into a way that you can drive sales, drive revenue from advertising on top of the character, drive different kind of revenue streams from the Holobox itself. So it becomes a way, a window for them to interact with the players. Yes, at the entrance of the stadiums, or in the museums, and or in your merchandise stores, or even, maybe at airports. Maybe you have a location at the airport and, high traffic areas, shopping malls, so on and so forth, where they can interact with that AI player, and then they can be prompted to buy something, benefit from a discount, get, buy and win something, and so on and so forth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's understood. And I think from a technology point of view, as you can
Yeah,
see,
me
especially
too.
from this image, we have Snapdragon as a front share partner, right? And they do the components for a lot of AR and VR experiences. So they do the semiconductors. Heron, potentially more of a question for you, but what's the processor you use right now to enable all these experiences? I think that's one point we might have a clash, because ultimately we would need ideally have someone that uses a Snapdragon processor.
Yeah. So typically, I mean, what we ask for is like quite literally a 20-minute kind of a green screen video recording of the players to create that digital twin that would be showcased within the app, within the holobox, and so on and so forth. We have a certain kind of a guidance on what are the things that we need to do. Everyone his own dance, everyone holding the cup, everyone, like certain kind of preset, choreography. Let's put it this way. And then we can share it with, if you have already an existing kind of a provider or something, they can do the work and share it with us, as long as it meets the requirement for the AI training. I hope I understood your question correctly. But then
yeah,
it's very...
so if we're to have, say, sorry, go ahead, Heron.
No, I think you understood. We have the technology, Maria. So we call it 3D capture, and this all asset we create for you. So, and there are two parts. One is the 3D capture, and other is the large language model. So all the logic and the mind behind it is all also remains with you. But we have our own IP technology, which we use it to create this content, which can be used across all of your platform, not just within the Holobox. We have our technology very seamlessly integrate with your app as well, and all those. But we would love to share in detail if time permits.
Yeah, because I think from our point of view, if we're ever to have, say, like a VR headset, or if we're ever to have like a physical holobox like in the stadium, it would have to be powered by Snapdragon. So we would need it would need to have a Snapdragon microprocessor inside
So
it,
yeah,
because
this device, you're correct. But this device comes with our own GPU. So this device is configured with NVIDIA. Also, a lot of resources gonna be running from your own cloud. So
wait, so you currently do this on top of NVIDIA, not Snapdragon?
It depends.
Not,
I mean, if it is,
So I mean, we have a design reference. So obviously, it can be done on the ARM chipset, and which is Snapdragon, or it can be done on the NVIDIA and so on and so forth, and obviously you might have certain agreements in place with certain technology providers. So we obviously need to align, and those are, we will get to know better, who you're aligned with and what are the things that we have to do, or the considerations that we have to keep in mind, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, no, 'cause I think the biggest one for us is that it needs to. This is something that Snapdragon will use to demonstrate. But they are like sort of the crown jewel, right? Because they're the front of shared partner. So it just means that we need to make sure that whatever technology we have that is physical at the stadium, that it should do with AR and VR, it's run on their microprocessor.
Perfect. And for us, it's
sure. No, go ahead. If it is your handheld devices, it makes sense, the Snapdragon technology. If it is more powered, like holoboxes or the cloud one, then we have the NVIDIA technology. But we make all this technology available. and create all this content which remains your IP. I mean, our customer IP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, the NVIDIA piece is one we can talk about it afterwards, but that's the biggest competitor of Snapdragon. So
No,
I think we would
absolutely.
have to steer away from that.
Yeah, and that's not a problem, Maria. What we're saying is, whatever has a design reference, when we share the design reference, we'll be able to identify what are the chipsets, talking to basically Snapdragon and identifying what are the chipsets that delivers the same kind of a performance needed for that. On the contrary, you're helping us potentially reduce our cost by doing so. So it's quite a favorable request from your side. All right. Now, just to explain something on how do we do business together. We typically ourselves, like Hiren said, we developed part of the technology. We developed most of the technology except for the hardware. We obviously and then we're able to invest ourselves. We have our investors that will support us to ourselves take the whole accountability for development of the product, deployment, meeting all the SLAs or service standards, give the guarantees to our partners, such as the football clubs, make sure that we sign with them a long-term agreement to give them the continuity to understand that we're here to partner. So we're happy to sign a 5-year agreement that with all the revenue, with the exponential revenue curve that we forecast, and we're able to do so all with our own resources, including the videography of the team, building all the experiences that are needed in augmented reality. The only part that we really require is that we obviously have to also be protected. So to have those categories locked for us, be it the augmented reality, the AI in app, and the AI in Holobox. If you're doing AI somewhere else, that's not a problem. But these are the 3 things that we're focused on. And then beyond that,
Sorry, what you meant augmented reality in between app as well, right?
yes, augmented reality in app. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. So and what we require is that we allocate like 20 to 30 minutes of every player within a period of like 3 to 4 months when we're setting up. We need to have access to the stadiums, agree with you on the experiences, and then practically we're out for the races. And within a matter of practically 4 months from signing that definitive agreement, you should expect that we're launching. So hopefully it would be in time for the 2026 season, right? 2025 to 2026.
Yeah. Yeah. So we would to gain category exclusivity. So as soon as we sign the contracts, our expectation is that there is some recognition of investments, more because we would be holding the category for you for an additional 6 months. So even during the integration periods, we would want to be recognized somehow for this first 6 months while you're building the product. But what we can do, and I think what is really relevant, is that we can start teasing from a marketing point of view. We can start teasing, building a brand awareness, getting you in front of the fans, and start teasing that the partnership is coming. So it would almost be like 5.5 years, because we would still recognize the first 6 months. And in terms of, I think there's 2 things, and I'm conscious of a bit over time. There's 2 things that I think we would be helpful to understand from you. Is it would be helpful to have sort of like an email or a list of everything that you're looking to do from an integration point of view, so that we can take it internally and see what. Sorry, there's a noise in the background. I'm not sure who it is.
So I think it's fine.
That's fine. It's fine. So it'd be helpful to understand everything and what is the potential
The
forecast.
technical requirements.
Yes.
Yeah, I can send that. No worries.
Yeah.
That will be shared.
And then from all partnerships you're looking at, what do you see as next steps? So from our side, and I think I was speaking to Miguel and Luis on this, the way that Manchester United work, and I think you'll understand this. We're really strict when it comes to financial fair play. Always have been, right? United is notorious for that, which means that forecasted revenue we do not count as revenue. So if you if you say we're gonna bring you 100 million to the club in 5 years' time, that's amazing, and we definitely want you to do that, and we'll have a structure in the contract in place for that. But we only recognized guaranteed revenue, so it's only the sponsorship dollars, because that's the only thing that we can apply the multiplier of 10 for financial fair play. Is as simple as that. And I think all clubs do that, but some of them have creative accounting. We don't really do the creative accounting. We would only ever look at the sponsorship fee or the minimum guarantee, as whatever we want to call it. So I think it's helpful for us to understand forecasted revenue, but it will also be helpful for us to understand what do you see as minimum guarantee for this, so that we can take it internally and start having those conversations. And we will also bring in our IT person around D2C, around the commerce. And we tend to run both conversations in parallel. So we'll start understanding the art of what's possible in terms of how do we integrate it with our membership program, with our D2C, to see which of the three models we would want to do it like immediately, and then sort of having a crawl, walk, run approach. But then also understand what are the rights that we'll need to promote the partnership, and what would be the minimum guarantee, and what would be the investment level. So we can sort of run both of those quite quickly. To start 25-26 seasons with your timelines, I'd say that we would need to have an agreement in place by beginning of next year. So I think we're running quite tight on time here.
100%, and I think you summed it up perfectly well. And we're not into creative marketing, creative accounting. We do actually guarantee the minimum. So we give bank guarantees, or we do partially prepayment, partially bank guarantees. So that shouldn't be an issue as such. On the other side, yes, our forecasted revenue. Obviously, we look at this as a partnership. It is if it is done well, then it could be even a higher forecast. If there's always sticks in the wheel on the operation, no matter what we put, we're gonna fail, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, knowing how progressive Manchester United is, we don't foresee any challenge in that. Most probably, it's going to be an upside versus the forecast that we will be sharing, the guarantees, and the prepayment that we have aligned our investors to secure, a kind of a frictionless relationship, or one that there is trust and there is true partnership. Yes, you're right. We did run over time. We are okay to continue. We're just conscious of your time.
No, I have until the 5th. I have 5 more minutes, and then I have to run into another meeting.
Okay.
But I think this has been really helpful. It would be we're aligned. So we know, because of what I said in the beginning, we know the value of having those fan interactions, and we know it's also good from our sponsorship point of view in terms of being able to offer this to our current sponsors, right? There's a lot of benefit to this in multiple streams. The only reason why I was saying about the way that we look at revenue is more because it's mine and Harry's job to get this approved internally, and when it goes to our boards, they only look at that minimum guarantee. Because Man United has one sentence at the moment, which is football first, which is financial fair play, football buying players. So and then obviously our D2C team will very much look at that the future forecast and how we can work to build this partnership. So yeah, the word partnership is very much there. I was just being really direct when it comes to how we do our finances, because we need to get this approved by our boards, and by the sounds of it, quite quickly. So I'm quite keen to have this pretty direct conversation. But I think we're very much aligned on building a partnership that delivers for the fans, for you, for us, and creates something additional for us to be able to deliver for the fans, which is really important. Is how I will be taking this conversation in internally as well.
Perfect. We love your passion. Trust me, we match your passion. So I have full confidence in this relationship.
So as next steps, what we'll do, if you can send us your company registration number, address, and full name, whatever is registered at, we'll get an NDA in place. We can probably send it to you by end of day, just so we can share information more freely. If you can send this presentation, it'd be really helpful. And then together on the email of what do you see as the revenue for minimum guarantee? How do you see the upsides per product model? So then I can have those conversations with our e-commerce team. I think what would be really helpful would be also to value what would be the VIK in terms of the technology builds, and then what do you think we would need to spend for the hardware? Because I think that's gonna come into consideration as well. And what we'll do is Harry and I is we'll start building a presentation in terms of what we believe United can deliver from a B2B and B2C perspective for you to grow your business outside of it as well. So how do you use it as a case study? How do we'll give you rights to be able to activate a lot of these partnerships as well. So we can do the marketing stream for you, and if you can do the technology proposal stream for us, that would be really helpful.
And the prizes.
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll put all that together, and then we can regroup. But having as much information from you as possible in terms of the structure of this will enable us to be really prepared to have the conversations internally our ends.
Sounds great.
And in terms
You'll
of
get
the
them by
revenue
then.
estimation, we would also like from your side, yeah, you'll get them all, especially technical requirements and such. But we'd like to have from your side, for example, your daily active users, some information that will help us assess the commercial viability of the proposal. All right. So
we can set that
average
today.
tickets sold, etc., etc. Please.
Yeah.
Perfect. That makes things sense.
Although
Thank
I
you.
think tickets, just quickly on tickets, I don't know if you noticed about us. We are the biggest club stadium in the UK, 76,000 capacity.
Yeah.
We
Old
are
Trafford.
definitely not but we're definitely not the most expensive. We have one of the cheapest season tickets. So in terms of like there's a big upside here that we can, that's what we're looking at from our e-commerce team, right? Is like, how can we create ancillary revenue? So I think this is where the conversation really fits into it. So anything that drives that ancillary revenue, because we don't make a lot of money on match day, it's amazing, because ultimately we need to protect the fans. So our season ticket is, we have a 7-year wait list, 55,000 season tickets, and they tend to pay for the cheapest tickets in the Premier League, and they also pay for the cheapest beer in the Premier League. So we're really not making money on a match day revenue. So that's really helpful for us.
Fair. All right.
Amazing. Yeah, and then as part of that, as part of sending everything across, if you could please also send us your best foot forward in terms of minimum guarantee and upside for any of the rev share. I'll put that in front of our commercial director straight away, so I can get a view from her on how do we need to push this internally to our boards.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll do that as soon as possible. Like we said, maybe Mohammed is going to ask a few parameter points just in order to fine tune it, but we have already actually, we have the overall broad lines. We just want to make sure that we share a number that looks, correct to you. I'm happy to sign an NDA. If you have a template from your side, we can share. We're okay. If you will share the company, we do have a UK 100% owned subsidiary, so maybe it's easier for regulatory perspective to share that company document.
What's their name? Because I can just look in the registered company house.
Verofax UK Limited.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll just pull from. You don't have to send me anything. I'll just pull online.
Company house.
Okay. Yeah. I'll look at it. That's fine. So we can get an NDA straight away.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Love
Okay.
it. Thank you, Maria, Harry.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, and we'll be in touch via email, and then once we have all of this and I've had all the conversations internally, we can jump in a call and start talking about the marketing assets, etc. as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye bye.